Picture this: a candle burning in a dark room. You don't notice when the flame begins to shrink. You don't hear it struggle. But hour by hour, the light fades until suddenly you're standing in darkness, wondering when it all went wrong. This is how respect dies. Not with a dramatic explosion, not with a single catastrophic moment, but quietly, imperceptibly, through 1,000 small surrenders we make to our worst impulses. The ancient Stoics understood something most people miss. True respect isn't given, it's recognized. It's the natural response others have when they encounter someone who has mastered the art of self-command. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private meditations, never meant for any eyes but his own, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Not seem one. Not pretend to be one. Be one. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 invisible patterns that silently destroy respect, and more importantly, how to rebuild the fortress of your character from the inside out. First, let's talk about the tyranny of emotional chaos. There's a moment that happens in every relationship, every workplace, every social dynamic. It's the moment when people stop seeing you as reliable and start seeing you as volatile. And it happens faster than you think. The Stoics had a name for those ruled by their emotions: slaves. Not because emotions are wrong, but because submission to them is surrender. When you explode in fury over a minor slight, or crumble at the first sign of criticism, you're not showing strength. You're revealing you have no inner citadel, no walls between stimulus and response. Listen to Epictetus, a man who went from literal slavery to philosophical freedom. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. Read that again. Your master. That colleague who knows how to push your buttons, they control you. The family member who triggers your rage, they own your peace. When you react without control, you're not being authentic, you're being predictable. And predictability and emotional chaos is the opposite of respect. It's entertainment. The world stands in quiet awe of the person who can face betrayal and respond with clarity, absorb an insult and return with wisdom. This isn't suppression, it's sovereignty. The Stoics practiced prososche, a sustained attention to your inner state. That gap between stimulus and response, that's where your power lives. That's where respect is forged. Next is the desperate hunt for validation. There's a particular kind of sadness in watching someone beg for respect. They laugh too loud at unfunny jokes. They reshape their opinions based on who's in the room. They post and perform like products awaiting approval. And with every desperate reach, respect slips further away. Seneca saw this 2,000 years ago. He who seeks to please everyone will lose himself. But it's worse than that. When you need others to confirm your worth, you're handing them the keys to your self-esteem. You're saying, I trust your judgment of me more than I trust my own. Think about the people you truly respect. Are they the ones constantly fishing for compliments? Or are they the ones who seem fundamentally unshaken by praise or criticism? The Stoic practice was radical, deliberately become indifferent to external opinion. Not callous or arrogant, but internally anchored. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, reminded himself, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Here's the paradox. The moment you stop needing validation is the moment you become worthy of it. When your actions flow from principle rather than performance anxiety, your presence becomes solid, grounded. People sense they're encountering someone who exists on their own terms. That quiet self-possession is magnetic. Third, the betrayal of time. Here's a truth most people discover too late. How you treat time reveals everything about your character. Every broken promise is a small betrayal. Every pattern of lateness is a statement. My convenience matters more than your time. Every day wasted scrolling and procrastinating is a vote against your own future. Seneca's words hit like a hammer. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. When you waste time, you're not just losing hours, you're advertising to everyone that you don't value your own existence. And if you don't value your time, why should anyone else? Respect demands reliability. It requires that your word means something. The person who's always late isn't quirky. They're announcing that other people's time is less valuable. The person who constantly breaks commitments isn't spontaneous. They're demonstrating their word is negotiable. The Stoics practiced memento mori. Remember, you must die. Not as morbid pessimism, but as a razor-sharp reminder that time is the one resource you can never replenish. Time respect is self-respect made visible. Master it and others will trust you. Neglect it and no amount of talent will save your reputation. Fourth, the noise of empty words. Talk is cheap, we all know this. Yet we keep inflating our words, making grand announcements about who we'll become and what we'll accomplish, as if saying it makes it real. It doesn't. Marcus Aurelius cut through this with surgical precision. Waste no more time talking about what a good man should be. Be one. Not explain. Not announce. Be. Every unfulfilled promise is a small death of credibility. Every time you talk about your plans instead of executing them, you train people to tune you out. The Stoics often remained silent for extended periods, observing rather than performing. Epictetus taught his students, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." But it's deeper than that. Silence isn't just about listening, it's about conserving your power. When you don't feel compelled to announce your intentions, your actions become louder. The person who quietly delivers results while others are still planning the announcement. That's who commands respect. Before you speak about what you're going to do, ask yourself, am I saying this to commit myself, or to receive credit before I've earned it? If it's the latter, close your mouth. Get to work. The world doesn't remember what you said you'd do. It remembers what you did. Finally, we arrive at the fortress of self-discipline. Let me tell you what discipline really is, because the word has been ruined. Discipline isn't just about waking up at 4 a.m. or taking cold showers. Discipline is the daily choice to govern yourself rather than be governed. It's the decision, made 1,000 times a day, to choose the person you want to become over the impulse of who you are right now. The Stoics saw the mind as a powerful horse, magnificent but deadly without direction. A person without discipline might have intelligence, charm, and talent, but they will never command respect, because potential without discipline is just a prettier word for wasted opportunity. Self-discipline is saying no to gossip. It's choosing the difficult conversation over comfortable avoidance. It's doing the work when inspiration is absent. Epictetus, who knew true freedom, taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." You can't be free while enslaved to your appetites, moods, and cravings. But here's the beautiful part. Every time you win a small battle against temptation, you're not just building habits, you're rebuilding your character. You're becoming someone who can be trusted, starting with yourself. People sense this. They recognize the person who could indulge but chooses restraint. That internal authority is the only kind that matters. So let's end where we began, with that candle in the darkness. Respect isn't something you demand. It's the natural consequence of living in a way that you yourself can respect. The Stoics knew this. Their philosophy was built on one revolutionary idea. You are responsible for your character and nothing else. Not others' opinions, not circumstances, just the quality of your own soul. When you stop reacting and start responding, when you're anchored in your own worth, when you honor time, when your actions speak louder than your words, and when you govern yourself with discipline, that's when respect happens. Not as something you seek, but as something others can't help but feel in your presence. Epictetus offered this challenge. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. First, decide who you are. Then, live in alignment with that decision. The moment is always now. So ask yourself tonight, what candle am I letting die through neglect? And tomorrow, when you wake into a world that will test you, remember, respect begins and ends with the person you see in the mirror. Everything else is just noise. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content on building a stronger inner life. See you in the next one.